Hi, in this lesson we'll look at creating a local file that was derived from a central model. In previous lessons we covered creating central project using work sharing where everything is configured for that one central file so everyone will synchronize for changes. We created work sets where individuals will take ownership of a work set and do the work on their local computer and then synchronize those changes back to the network, to the central model. To get started, since our project is set up from the central server, we need to actually connect to it and create a local file to work on local. So to do that, the first thing you do is once the central project is set up, is to navigate to where that central file is located. So, so I happen to have it on my screen right now because this is one I've been playing around with and have opened in previous lessons. It's called Central MEP. If you don't see that, you can simply go to the Open button and browse to wherever your files are and then choose the Central MEP project. Now, before you open it, Revit recognizes this as a central project file, and at the very bottom you see a work sharing environment where you have multiple blue check marks. So where I'm going to create a local project, and it's going to synchronize back to the central project. So I'm going to click open. Now I'm going to overwrite this copy because I've been playing around with it, so I'm just going to overwrite my existing copy, or you can put a date on it. Now what happens next is the local file is creating and it's going back to the central file. Now what's happening here is, as you can see, the name is mimicked. It says Central MEP and it's my name under there, and that's because that's my Windows username. So this is so got a few elements in here. Well, let's just ignore those for right now. So there it is, says Central MEP Robert, and this is my local project. Now if I go to Collaborate tab, and I look at work sets on the work sets drop down, this is where I can grab ownership of the various work sets. I can add things to them. So let's say if I wanted to work on the HVAC system, I'll select HVAC. Now this is the active work set, so anything I have will be added to this work set. However, it still says not editable. Doesn't mean you can't edit it. What it means is you're not the sole owner of this HVAC work set. If you click on Work Sets button on the left here, you'll actually see editable set to no. Now, most organizations will leave it this way because you might have multiple people working on the HVAC system at the same time. So each one of them has a local Revit project, and they're both multiple people that are synchronizing back to the central model. So in order to do that, editable has to remain no. So if I decided one person to do this, now you change no to yes. So if I just click on no and pull down the pull down arrow and change that to yes, so that means me, Robert, I'm the owner, and I can only one that can make edits or changes to that work set or anything on it. I'm gonna leave it set to no for now, and let's click OK. So I will continue to add elements here, change things. Don't worry about these walls. It's something I had before. Now when I'm done, I could save it. I can stay local to my computer, but it doesn't go back to the central server. It only go back to the central server until you synchronize. The synchronize tool is on the Collaborate tab, and it's kind of synchronized with Central. Now you have two options here. Both synchronizes, but synchro now means you'll synchronize everything. Synchronize modify settings, you can you have the ability to add comments here. Comments support tracking the history of what was done with this file. So I can put in so I can say add new sync or anything I want, and then I'll click OK. Now Revit will look at whatever you have, save your local copy, and it'll synchronize back to the main file. Now to see your history, if I wanted to look at the history of what was done, I can click, if this ever finishes, synchronizing back. Okay, now I can go show history here, and then I'll go and open that file. That would be our central MEP. So I'm going to do the history central project MEP and hit open. And now there's the history of what was done. So as you can see, I've done a lot of syncing here. So this is for the day and over the past few days. And there's my latest where I had added new sync. And it's always mostly going to be on the top. And depending on how you sort them. So this is where I can actually see who does what to or what's associated to this project. So let's get close here. Now if you want to reload the project, you simply click reload. This will reload the latest from the central model. But you can also restore backup if you had a backup, or you can edit requests or requests that are sent from users to users and various other elements. Also, how to set things for different work sets. Let's say I go to work set 1 and say I'm going to add a wall here. Where my 3D going to do this? So if I place a wall here, okay, now you look at, now once you click on whatever you create, cancel that, you can actually see over here in properties, the work set is tied to. So in any case, if you decide, you created it on the wrong work set, you can change it right here. You just click it and say, let's put this on structure, and then apply that. It's still edited by me, the user, but now it's on a different work set. It can change to what it's applied to. So once I'm done, so what I would do is I would just go, whoop, now here I would go back to Collaborate tab, and this is where I would I could I'll go back to my Collaborate tab. So this is when I'm done. This is when I would synchronize, and I would synchronize modify settings, and then I'll say edit wall, edit structure. Now it'll synchronize this from my local copy back to the actual central copy. So as a reviewer, we just looked at how to create local files from our central model, from our hosted Revit project. We looked at how to navigate to the central project and create a local copy. We looked at how to change work sets and edit that, add elements, and how to synchronize two elements to the central model. And then how to view the history of what was done by different users and when they synchronize those changes. Okay, so this is the end of this exercise. We'll carry on to the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.